Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Inspiration Collaboration Design Team Challenge. This month, the team has challenged each other to use stamps on a background on a scrapbook page. So I'm going to use Scenic Adventures and Weekend Adventures, and I'm going to work stamps in from both of these collections. So I'm using the Weekend Adventures collection and I'm continuing my Grand Lake vacation. So the next morning we went to the North Inlet at Grand Lake and we still hadn't entered the park proper, but of course you do need a pass. And the trailhead to Cascade Falls is at this inlet. So this is the beginning of the hike. It was a 7-mile round trip hike, and the first part is through Summerland Park, and it was just gorgeous that morning. And that photo of the field with the horses, I have been meaning to, haven't yet. I want to blow it up and have it done on canvas. It's so pretty. Okay, so let's get started. My base is going to be basic beige, and I'm thinking I want some long banners along the bottom. So I've got some of this pattern paper from Weekend Adventures. I love this plaid. So I'm going to do a banner, and I'm cutting it at 2 3/4. We'll just see what that looks like. So I'm going to have the dovetailed ends on the left side, and those will be the only ends. So this paper, it's really cool. It's called Road Trip, and it's from Cartabella, and it has all the national parks listed, and just random different parks throughout the United States in lines. So I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4, and I'm aiming, I wanted that portion that had Rocky Mountain National Park on it. I don't know if we'll wind up seeing it at the end, but when I'm cutting my paper, that's what I was aiming for. So yeah, so I think these two are going to sit like that, and then I brought my pictures back in just so I can see what it all looks like. That picture of my husband, it just cracks me up. He's such a goofball. And I'm always taking pictures of him, so I'm sure he's trying to think of something original to do. So, okay, so I'm just dovetailing this one, just cut vertically in the center and then take each corner to meet that snip. And then we'll do it again with the plaid. And then we'll have our 2 dovetailed pieces. And I'm just going really shallow because I know I don't have a lot of real estate to work with. So you can always cut more, but I'm starting with that shallow cut, and it worked. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Versamat in, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces of early espresso. I want a strip to go in between those 2 dovetailed pieces. So I'm deciding if I want the light or dark side. So I'm going to go with the dark side, and I'm going to cut 2 strips at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to do some stamping on these strips. So from the Weekend Adventures collection, there's this smaller stamp, and it just has little X's on it, almost like cross stitch. So I'm just going to do a line all the way across. So I'm going to actually do 2 lines. I'm going to do one at the bottom of the 1/2 inch strip and then another line at the top of the 1/2 inch strip. So I'm using black ink, and I know these colors are super dark and really hard to see on camera, but it just gives a nice effect. Don't want it like really loud and out there, but I just wanted some type of effect on this strip. So I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, I held it a little closer to the camera just to kind of give you a look at it. And I'll have close-up shots over on my socials after this video posts, so you'll be able to see a little bit better. Okay, so that's going to go between the two dovetailed pieces. And we'll continue building. I'll go ahead and put my pictures back, always checking as you progress through your layout. Okay, and that picture over on the right, that's going to come down. Okay, so now I have some early espresso ink and a foam ink blender, and I'm going to ink the edges of everything. So I'll do a little bit here, but most of it I'm going to do off camera. I'm going to ink even the 12 by 12 pieces as well to give it a border all the way around. And I'm just going to go around all these the dovetailed strips. And then also I'm going to create some mats and I'll ink those as well. So I'll bring those in. So I've got some mats here, and this is the light side of pecan pie. And I've inked around the edges with early espresso. And I've created mats for all my pictures. Just a little something. I think it brings out the browns that are in the pictures and doesn't compete with any of the colors in the pictures, but gives it a little lift and separation from the pattern papers in the background. I'm liking that. We're getting there. Gonna fuss a little bit, move these things around. I think I'm liking the placement. So the right horizontal picture, landscape picture, and then the left one, those will be on the same plane. They're kind of wonky right now. So these are nested essentials, and I'm going to bring in those banners so that we can reflect the banners that are on the left page and repeat it over on the right page. And this cardstock is from the National Parks collection from Cartabella. And then I'm going to bring in that repeating names of the parks paper, and then also the buffalo plaid, and cut these banners off camera. These banners are really cool. They have a embossed stitching around the edges, and then I also inked them so that they're also inked. And then off camera, I did some strip journaling. I dovetailed the ends, and then I also inked around the edges, just to talk about where we were, where we started, and what day it was. And I'll have more pictures from this hike, so following pages will have, it will continue the story. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Versamat back in for some stamping. I needed something to write my date on. So I found this old set from Close to My Heart, and it's called Lovin' Right Now, and it just has this block here with the lines so you can write numbers in for the date. So I'm going to stamp this and go ahead and write the date, and then I'll fussy cut it out. And in retrospect, I'm remembering that there are some tab stickers on the sticker sheet, so I could have done that, but this works too. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that out in espresso, and then I'll write the date in. So this trip was from 2017. Finally getting around to scrapbooking it. We did a lot that summer, and I think I scrapbooked everything else, so I can put everything in my postbound album now for 2017, I think. So we'll go ahead and cut this out. I'll speed this up in a second. Just a quick and easy fussy cut to add to that little journaling area. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in Scenic Adventure, and I thought I was going to use the clouds, but then I changed my mind. I'm going to use these trees, and this is going to be direct stamping on my layout. So I'm going to be brave and stamp on my layout. So yeah, so my sticker here that says Explore is going to kind of anchor the trees. So I'm eyeballing where I want things to go, and Then I'm going to make a couple of pencil tick marks just so I know kind of where to aim my stamps when I'm stamping. And then off camera, I slid the Pearson mat under the upper left corner of the layout. I don't know if you can see it there on camera, but I just slid it under that top portion where the basic beige is seen, so that I have a little bit of a cushion underneath. And then I'll stamp down in Old Olive. And then there's this tall skinny tree, and I'm going to stamp that one in Old Olive as well. And sorry about all the edits. I kept getting my head in the frame, so I stood up to do this one to get a better angle. And then the last one, I'm going to use Mossy Meadow to sit the short tree in between and overlap. So we have a cluster of 3 over there. And like I said, they'll be anchored by that Explore sticker. And then over on the right side, I'm going to use that larger tree and stamp that in Mossy Meadow. Okay. All right, so now we've got some stickers to put down. Get that Explore one down. And then fuss with it a bit, make sure it's straight. And then this is a national park emblem from the National Parks collection from Cardabella. Go ahead, and wasn't sure exactly where I wanted it to go. I think it looks good there. We'll put it there. Okay. And then we'll put one on my photo. And that one says it's time for an adventure, and it's from Weekend Adventures. And then this one as well. So we've got a good visual triangle there. And then I'm going to add some of these matte dots, and they come in Mossy Meadow. They've got a bit of lift to them, but I like the texture they give, and they are matte, so they just have a nice effect. So I'm gonna scatter a bunch of these around. I like to scatter in odd numbers. So we'll do those, and then we'll go over to the other side and kind of draw your eye over to the cluster of banners. And then a couple more down by the journaling. Okay, so I'll bring this closer to the camera. I will put a link at the end of the video so you can check out the other Inspiration Collaboration Design Team members' videos and see how they stamped on their backgrounds for their scrapbook layouts. I'm excited to see what choices they've made and what they've done with their layouts. And I will have close-up shots over on my socials and a list of supplies that I used with links in the description below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.